broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What's going on, guys, and welcome to Sense8, episode 6, titled Demons. I'm your host, Nicholas Grava, and I am here with my amazing co-host,
Cameron Lewis, everybody, at the Only Camshaft, Twitter and Instagram. Nicholas, what the heck?
This was an amazing episode, and for you guys that are watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, comment below, and like our videos, and you can check out some other after shows that we offer. If you're listening on iTunes or SoundCloud, you can also subscribe there.
This is certainly the most talked about episode of this show.
Absolutely.
And we're finally to it, which I'm excited about. And we already have like hundreds of comments in the YouTube chat roll.
You know, you guys are amazing because as we were starting, I just got my computer open and I'm trying to go through them and see what you guys are already saying about this episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot happening. A lot happened. A lot of opinions on what happened. I want to get just off the top. What'd you think? Episode 6. We're 6. I think out of 12, so we're basically halfway through.
Yeah, we're getting so close now to these characters meeting each other, I think. Really quick shout out to Alexis Torres, who's not here, who normally co-hosts this show with us. She is commenting on the chat roll. Hello, Alexis. And she has a video we're going to roll in later talking about her reaction to the sexy scene.
Yeah, let's call it the sexy scene, the orgy.
Yeah.
Alexis has a different point of view on it. Yeah, we're going to hold that for a little bit once we get to it.
You know, this was probably my favorite Sun episode.
Yeah, well, finally, because she's such an entertaining character because of her strength. I think that's what I really love about her. So to see that sort of, and also now to see a different side when things are sort of out of her control.
Yeah.
And we're just watching her react to her circumstances. Yeah. Like in the courtroom when we saw that. That was... Yeah, so let's hit the top. Let's hit Will and Riley. All Finally, right. I was fulfilled. I've been talking about waiting for two of the Sense8 to get together and just chat. Just, compare notes. And what better way?
Hey, what is going on?
Exactly. Instead of asking him, did you see that?
Yeah.
Am I seeing things?
Did you see the guy?
How long? I'm surprised, honestly, it took 6 episodes to get there, to get to this in-depth of a talk, but maybe it was needed.
You know, the closest we've gotten to that so far, I think, was the last episode where we have Cap talking to everybody, pretty much. He talked to a lot of people last episode.
Cap was chatty.
He was so chatty, and he didn't even talk about the fact that crazy things were going on. He just got straight to the point. Where are you? Who are you? What are you doing? What time of day is it? Is it raining? Do you have cats? All of these things.
I don't know if those would be my first questions.
Probably not.
But helpful, I guess, to some point.
Sure. Getting to know, Andrew Fedge on YouTube says that your hair is on fleek tonight or something.
Wow, well, thank you. Thank you. Got a haircut before I came and also, got a little tan, so that's that. That's why I wasn't here last week. Let's talk about how genius it was for Will to say, okay, give me your phone.
I didn't know how that happened.
I didn't get it either. I was like, at first I'm like, wait. He's like, you wouldn't know the number, but then he's entering in the number. I was like, well, aren't you giving her the number?
This is such an insane show because just when you think you've wrapped your head around exactly what's going on, you think to yourself, hey, okay, I understand that they kind of appear in one another's minds when they need each other, but then occasionally they just show up to chat, which is kind of interesting, and apparently they can call each other on the phone.
But at least that reassures us, or reassures them, really, that these people exist.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you're going through, you're seeing people in your mirror every once in a while, like, you're still going to wonder, just as Nomi's wondering, am I insane, Or is this really happening? And I think to have a phone number to call, and when he hands it to his partner and says, hey, I'm having a hearing issue, let me try. That reassures, okay, this is legit. Something's happening.
Yeah. It's not in my head.
Right. Which would be my number one. I would really believe it was in my head. And I would believe I was going
but
crazy.
Then if somebody, like, that would for sure settle the question. If somebody called you out of nowhere. Imagine that, though. Imagine a voice calling you. The voice from your head, Nicholas. All of a sudden your phone rings.
Absolutely terrifying.
What the heck?
I probably wouldn't answer at first. And I probably I would still believe somehow I was crazy.
Yeah,
it's a common concern of mine anyway.
Well, you know, people are saying that you're insane.
What are they saying? Thank you so much. Let's see, what is it? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, the music. We actually started with the music from the orgy, thanks to this sir right here.
Oh, man. But the Will and Riley stuff really kind of took a turn for the worse, because Riley says, hey, I gotta go home. It's time for me to cut this conversation short. She goes home, and then she sees these guys that she had kind of fallen out with a couple weeks back. And this was not good.
No.
They're asking about the money. They're asking about the drugs.
First of all, what a shady friend. That is just going to sell her out like that for his part of drugs or whatever. He was doing a line on the table or something like that. I mean, I guess, what do you expect? I don't know. We really didn't know these people. We never got far into their line. I think we just saw them, you know, having coitus at one point. That was all we really saw from those people, so I'm not surprised. But when he asked her, where's the money and drugs? Classic fake answer is, I got rid of them.
Yeah.
But it's actually the truth.
So true. That's the upsetting part. And she says, I don't know where they're at. And she doesn't. It sucks, because Riley is like the girl that's stuck.
I know.
And then this guy says, hey, look what they did to my face.
Yeah.
This isn't nearly as bad as what I'm going to get. Okay. And he was right.
He was 100% right. That's terrible. I always wonder, actually, when they're filming a scene like that, when does the actor actually... Are they going through having a bag over the head for a short amount of time to, there's no way else. You can't really fake that.
I don't know.
It's terrifying.
There has to be some kind of safety standard, but that is a horrific thing to watch.
Yes.
It's always bad, like the bag, it's like goes in the mouth.
Yes, when it gets caught in. I mean, what did you guys think after watching that? That scene kind of like had me looking away for a quick second.
And then, let us know what you think. And then they connect. She reconnects with Will, and he starts losing his mind in the middle of a bar in Chicago.
Well, is he losing his mind, or is he just sharing at that point?
Sharing it.
But yes, he does look like he's losing his mind. And this is okay. But here's my other thing. When he starts fighting as Riley, isn't this the first time that, like, his body started doing the exact same things? Because other people have fought before and they don't fight the people around them.
No, it's happened. It happened last episode whenever Lito's going through the gun shooting stuff, right? And it's happened before when Sun...
Yeah, but Sun was getting beaten up in the match when she was fighting for Cap.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like, she was not doing the exact move. So when he was, like, taking out all these other cops or whoever it was helping him, I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was just a mirroring thing.
One Lanavis1 on YouTube says it was horrifying. I was so sure Riley was going to die. Yeah, it was a tough scene to watch. Thank you for the comments. Keep them coming on the YouTube channel there. And they thought Will was having an exorcism, says Seth Jason Tan 16.
It looked like it.
It did. And God, can you imagine ordering a drink at the bar right when that happened?
No.
This guy's like holding his beer and he just goes.
Talk about amazing acting across the whole platform, though. But like, that's great. I was watching it.
Yeah.
Even as an actor myself, and I'm like, whoa, he's looks like he's having an exorcism in front of the bar. Like it was, all the acting is amazing, especially when I want to talk about their when they start speaking other language and stuff. It's baffling to me.
Oh my God!
But yeah, he drops the glass. What do you think? What are people thinking? You see someone in a bar doing that? What do you? I'm thinking they're batshit crazy.
I think check, please.
Yeah, get me.
I'm out. I don't stay in that situation and go, hey, I'm gonna see what this guy's up to. You know, like I'm totally gone. And the fact that he's like beating up his friends and stuff, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Will, what the hell? But
for good cause.
Great because Riley gets out of it.
How did he get when he was back, like
handcuffs.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Is it because he's good at, like, it's been a theme? He's always shown that he can get out of handcuffs, but it seemed a little bit like here comes Hercules, boom, pops through them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I liked it nonetheless.
I don't know. Maybe it's something they teach cops to be able to get out of here. It seems something fake. Michael Lamar Simeon on YouTube says Riley is the only character in this show that I don't care for. See, I disagree.
You know what's funny is it's not that I don't care for her. I think we've honestly, we've seen her a lot, but I don't know much about her yet. I feel like with Will, with Nomi, with Leto, we've only seen her. We don't really get any other relationships with her, so I can see why maybe you're not so fond of her storyline yet.
I can see the argument for she's just kind of like a troubled person all the time.
That's all we get.
Yeah.
I'm troubled, I'm running.
I'm getting suffocated with a plastic bag.
Yeah, it's like, have we not heard this one before? No, but I still did care for her in this specific episode. But after episode 1, which she had a big storyline in, we really didn't get much of her. Right?
Not too much of her, no.
Just her face.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I have a crush on her, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's because I have a crush on her.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
That's your type?
Riley, if you're watching. Tweet me using the hashtag ABTV Sense8.
Oh, the way you weave it in, I'll tell you.
You like that?
Yeah. So let's talk about Sun.
Yeah.
She's epic. This lady is epic, and I don't think she made... Sorry, I don't like the choice she made for going to jail for her brother and father who don't even give a beep about her. No, thank you.
See,
Oh, God, what? You're going to say...
Did you think she was going to jail?
No, I didn't think she'd end up in jail.
Yeah.
I always thought she wasn't going to choose it, and then next thing you know, they lock and lock on her door.
That's what I said last week, because if I was in a situation like Sun...
Yeah.
Where my family was screwing themselves over and screwing me over and also didn't give a crap about me, it's not like they're choosing to kill my brother. They're saying, hey, he's going to go to jail because he did something wrong. Then he's going to go to jail. Let the chips fall where they may.
I feel you on that. It's not like... Well, I don't know the quote that her mother told her, but it was something in the essence of protect them and watch over them, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. If someone is going to physically attack him, if his life is in danger, but if homie's going to jail for a crime he committed, that doesn't mean you go to jail. How are you supposed to protect them from there? You know what I mean? No. But I see how she sees it as, I don't want my last words to her to be a lie.
Maybe she thinks, hey, I have the best chance of getting out.
You think she's thinking about getting out?
I don't know.
I
think she can, though. I think she can.
Well, she can just by sharing or visiting, whatever it is, because she already was out of jail at the end, smoking some ganj, vaporizer. But she wasn't actually smoking. She was like, I can taste it. And that was really it. That was quite a connection that they had.
I didn't peg Sun for
I didn't, but hey,
a goer of the
certain circumstances will make. She was like, "This will make me feel good," and they were like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Okay." I
really liked that scene between her and Riley towards the end of the show, up on the hill, and it was a nice tie-in that there was something on the concrete that said something about the spirit of the sun, talking to the spirit of the sun.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of a nice
I have conversed with the spirit of the sun.
Conversed with the spirit of the sun. And they were both in kind of a helpless situation.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked their connection. And something that someone just said in the chat, they said that who was it? Andrew said Riley seems to be one of the better connectors of the group. She keeps popping up in other people's places more often than others. That's true. And I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if that's just chance. If she's honing in on it more than others. I mean, I would say Riley and Will seem to have the greatest grasp of what's going on. Although Cap is starting to get it, I think. He's just coming with a really cool and collected mind to it all.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
And he also has a bigger fish to fry in that he's constantly worried about his mom. So I think that's on his radar. We have Seth, Jason Tan 16 again on YouTube, but in Son's defense, jail is better than being in a room with her dad and brother. I agree with that.
Wait, what did it say?
He's saying being in jail is way better than being in a room.
Yeah, I agree, but she wasn't in a room with her dad and brother. She was in some sick apartment that she was living in that looks really amazing, and she was living the life. Well, I don't know if she was living the life. But.
DGSAFDMD says that Son Riley scene is totally one of my favorites. See, I kind of agree. I just like when you have a series like this where there's so many things happening at one time. There's people hopping from country to country, place to place, language to language, bed to bed.
Yep.
And they still have these calm moments occasionally. I think that's nice.
I think it's nice and necessary too.
Yeah,
to slow it down, and that's again when these relationships are going to be the most interesting relationships to watch being built. You know what I mean? Like, they have nothing in common except for everything. So that's going to be like, does that make any sense? Do you know what I mean?
They have zero in common.
Zero in common except for their entire brain emotions and experiences. So, yeah.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, you should, probably.
Everything but nothing.
Is that when they said that when they were talking about, like, you're safer there?
Yeah. Yeah. So Riley was saying to Son, hey, yeah, you know, you're in jail, but you're safer there. And Son was saying to Riley, because she was talking about going to visit her dad and seeing her dad and going home. She said, you're safer there, which is true. Because she has like 10 drug lords after her.
Yeah, I would say, Riley, get the hell out of wherever you're at now. What's good? They're not so clear. This drug and money thing is not going to go away. I didn't know if it was just like a soft storyline we weren't going to see anything of. Clearly not. So
yeah, I didn't think we'd ever see any of those dudes again.
Me neither.
No.
I actually didn't even immediately know that it was them until everything started happening. I'm like, who's this guy doing drugs with her friends?
Where's the money?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, you need to like take the bandage.
She knew to walk out real quick.
Yeah.
And they knew they had another guy.
I'm just saying, if you know, if I was there, I would have gone for her defense. Crush.
What do you mean?
Hashtag Riley crush.
Oh, of course you would, because you guys are like the new. What would your name be?
You know, Ramron.
Haven't thought of that one, but I don't know. I'm just gonna throw a dart. Ramron. Good.
Just a little. I have no idea.
Let's see what people. Oh, that was sad when Son had to give up her dog.
See, I would do that for no man. I don't even have a dog, but I would not do that for anybody.
You wouldn't accept someone's dog? Is that what you're saying?
No, I would not give my dog away.
It's better to give it away than to leave it in your apartment with nothing and nobody. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I wouldn't accept the reason.
I'm going to jail? What reason are you gonna accept?
I wouldn't go to jail.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you wouldn't get yourself in that position at all? You'd
I
be
would
like,
take the dog to jail with me.
Oh, okay. You'd subject the dog to a miserable life.
I mean, no.
I see where your head's at. That's just wonderful. I want to move on to Nomi. Because this is, again, like a story. This is one of my favorite storylines, I'd say, because they're sort of the only ones that she has a support group around her that is aware of everything that's going on and sort of in it with her. So to see them try to fish through what's happening, and I think her girlfriend's mother, I don't remember her name, is a cool addition to this, sort of like a philosopher that is bringing in a lot of interesting ideas. I
think Nomi is probably, and correct me if I'm wrong or tell me if you think differently, Nomi is the one who like doesn't want this to happen at all because she has all the things going on with people saying she has brain problems and all that most likely, but she talks about, hey, is this like ADD where I can take a pill and make it kind of go away, or is it like Alzheimer's where it's just going to get progressively worse and I'm going to lose all sense of self? I don't think she understands really what's happening yet.
She doesn't. When her girlfriend laid out the two scenarios to her, and she was like, I'm not digging the first. What's the second? I would, if I'm in that situation, I've said this before, I think she's almost, like, the way she's treating it, she is looking calm, cool, and collected. Because she is literally...
The way Nomi's treating it?
Yes. She's sitting there being like, can I take medicine?
Sure.
Or am I losing myself?
For sure, yeah.
Let's talk about over coffee. Like, no, I'd be in a dark corner shaking, trying to have people, you would be trying to talk me through being like, maybe you're not going crazy.
And also, I'd be looking out the window and stuff for my mom and Dr. Metzer and all these people who are coming after my brain.
Wait, the phone call, I watched the past 2 episodes right in a row before today, so I'm a little confused, but the phone call with Will and her mother, was that this episode? Either way, that was pretty...
episode 5.
Oh, okay, you guys already talked about that.
Yeah, that was episode 5, but that was that was...
When he just ended it and he was like, first of all, it's she,
so good.
And da-da-da-da-da, I was like,
now, Alexis
zinger.
and I were talking about that moment, thinking about if that was Will's words or if that was Nomi's words at the very end, but we kind of think it was Will.
I think it was Will. Although it could very well be the shit, like, because she was in on it, and I think it was Will. I'd have to say that.
Alexis is commenting on the chat roll.
What's she saying?
She's saying Nomi and Amanita need to get the hell out of San Francisco. I completely agree.
Yeah, like staying. I mean, when they ask for, I guess it is a safe place, but people. I think I'm gonna hold the prediction to the end, actually.
Oh, write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down. While you're writing that down, let me remind everybody, subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, 5 stars. Give us a little rating and a comment. We love when you do that. And we'll pop up on your phone, just like a Sense8. We'll Sense8 your phone.
Will we?
So you can just hear us when you wake up in the morning.
How amazing would that be?
Oh,
wake up to us. Oh, my Lord.
My Lord.
So Anthony says that Nomi has the best and worst situation. Yeah, I agree, because she has whispers and knows exactly who she is, but she's an amazing support. She does have an amazing support system, and I think that's most important about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And relationship goals, too, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Like you said, relationship goals.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to need to marry me if Riley says no.
You are available.
I am available, but only if Riley says no.
That's a little bit offensive to Riley to already set up your backup, but whatever. I'm not gonna comment. Whatever.
She's in Iceland, so.
Speaking of relationships and love, do you want to get into the somewhat of an elephant that's been in the room throughout all 6 episodes?
Okay.
Let's chat about the orgy.
This is a big one.
So now I knew because of you guys. Thank you.
Orgy.
Orgy? No, I can't do it like you, so I'm not gonna. Because the commenters have been telling us about it, I actually didn't know it was happening in episode 6. I had no idea that it was actually this episode. I just knew it was coming along.
Oh, okay.
So at one point when Wolfgang last episode was in the pool, and then I'm like, oh, maybe this is the start of the orgy. Like, here I am, like, looking and waiting for this orgy. Happened now. Alexis sent us a video. Do you wanna cut to her video
so
first?
This is Alexis's reaction to the orgy that happened in this episode. Do we have that? She sent this in just for us.
Yeah. I don't know if is it playing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Hold for
Hey everybody, I miss you guys. I'm really, really sorry I couldn't be there. I am kind of glad that I watched this in my own little space because it was crazy. I loved the episode. I loved that Riley was kind of like the main point of interacting. I was freaked out that she almost died. It was a crazy episode. Okay, I know that you guys are all thinking about the orgy. That's like the main thing that you guys are like, Alexis, how did you feel? This is all I'm gonna say is that this pillow was my best friend because I literally did this the whole time because it was so intense and I didn't know what was gonna happen. I knew that it was coming up and it was no, I wasn't ready. I definitely wasn't. But I thoroughly enjoyed the episode, even though I really didn't feel this orgy was necessary. But it was great. And also, I don't really think we can call it an orgy. I guess we can call it a foursome because technically. Okay, maybe that's just me, but I think an orgy is like 5 people or more, but I digress. I hope everyone's having a good time. Cam, Nicholas, I miss you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys next week to talk about episode 7. Have a great time, have a great weekend. I love you all. Mwah. See you later. Bye.
Alexis, by the way, fan favorite on the YouTube chat room. As soon as we start playing this video, everybody's like, ah!
I saw that. I had to refresh the page because it almost clogged my stream.
So what do you think? Do you agree with what she's saying? Do you think it was unnecessary?
Oh, this is difficult to say because no, I don't think it was unnecessary. I think it was a great way to demonstrate, as they're doing. We see them fight sharing. We see them doing this. This is another interesting way to show how they can all connect and share and visit. But was it a visit or were they sharing? You know how like that whole difference of like, I don't know what actually happened compared to what. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know.
I don't think.
You think it wasn't?
No. I don't know what to think. I just know that I think I was okay with it. And the only thing that I really could think about it was, how was that day on set?
Do you know, I read something that said they filmed that one of the first days.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine if that is true. Why in the world that would be? I mean, talk about a way to break the ice with everybody. How many? Okay, so Alexis said that she wants to call this a foursome.
Well, now,
and I want to get real clear here. How many people were in that tub?
Lanavis on the YouTube chat roll, and I think this is accurate, says the orgy was 5 people: Will, Nomi, Wolfgang, Lito, and Amanita. Because we did see Amanita in that, or Hernando a little bit too, so maybe 6. It might have been 6.
So we're gonna call it an orgy.
I think we have to.
Yeah, we
have to. It was so weird because there was so much happening, but not really.
There was so much happening, but then also there was a lot of times I didn't know who was hooking up with who.
Yeah,
I would see a flash and then it would go away, and
which call me a romantic, but well, I don't know if that's the right word, but because it was kind of reminiscent of like a statue or something. You know, like a statue you'll see. I don't know, a Greek statue or something.
Yeah. I agree.
Because all of the bodies were just kind of close and in a weird, and it was like muscly everywhere and stuff. It was kind of cool.
I thought it was really cool.
I thought it was quite cool.
It was just what I was questioning is obviously, so all these people are hooking up there. But are they aware they're in an orgy? Are they aware going back, once they stop it all, once they stop their shenanigans, does Will walk out being like, oh, I just hooked up with boop, boop, and boop?
I don't know.
Or are they just like, sexual feeling?
The boop triplets. Oh, no.
Yeah. You never heard? Come on.
No, I actually was thinking about that, too, because nobody seemed to really react to the other people, just that they knew something like with an insane amount of sensation was happening.
Lito fell off the bed. He was like, woo, never orgasmed like that before.
Yeah, oh my God.
Will was on the weight. He was bench pressing or doing something you do in the gym.
Something you do in the gym. Talk about it being an awkward gym experience.
Yeah, that's one of them.
In front of so many people. Alexis brings up a good point.
What?
She says, was Wolfgang a part of it or just hanging out? He was just kind of chilling there, but I think he's the kind of guy that just chills
there. You think that's his sexual, that's his place he just likes to chill.
I mean, look at him earlier in the episode with Kali. He's just laying in the bed like, come on.
That's true. You know. He could be the low, but I mean, I don't know though, because it never seemed, he was too chill. Listen, at some point, you gotta give a little in a situation, and he didn't seem like he was giving anything.
He didn't.
But I guess there was, with
he
6
wasn't
people,
even kissing anybody.
Maybe there's enough to, there's enough giving around. You don't need it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
There has to be somebody hanging out.
Yeah. What does he do? Wolfgang was involved. He was moving around in other cities, whereas in Berlin he was kind of calm. So he was involved, they're saying.
Lupin788 on the YouTube say, didn't they show Kafia as having an interesting reaction after the fact while watching his usual Van Damme video? They did.
They did, and I asked you that earlier. He was watching the video, getting a little bit sweaty, but I'm like, maybe it's probably very hot in the van. And then he was like readjusting a little bit, So I'm saying, is that reaction to the? It had to be to the orgy.
I think so.
He had to be sensing the sexualness that was
in the middle of a van
with like children around and stuff. Yeah.
Awkward situation for Cap there. I'm sorry you had to experience that.
But Cap, I mean, he is. I mean, I don't want to get off the orgy right just yet. I think there is still. I'd like to. Okay, so I think one point to really make is, was this really relevant? Like you asked me that. Alexis doesn't think that. I don't know. I want to say yes, but then again, I look around and. To that extent, I really don't know. Well, we already knew they felt each other's sexualness when people would be having sex and others getting horny and stuff. Like, we already knew that.
But this is one of the times where so many people were sensing each other at the same time. Where usually it typically seems to be one-on-one. And this was like mostly everybody. I mean, obviously, Kala was there, right? She was walking up.
Was that her that was walking up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was her.
Guys, was that her? Because I thought it was, and then I wrote that off. I'm really happy you brought that up.
But anyhow, so
it did look like Kala's.
It did look like Kala. But I liked it for that reason, because we saw the extent to which this goes, I think.
Okay. You know what was interesting, actually, I think you could draw, or I'm going to draw this line, is, like you said, they looked like an art piece, but in a way they looked like almost like a brain. You know how it has all the different things? Yeah. And they were all together to really represent, me just drawing these amazing metaphors. No, I don't know. Do you think that's something, or am I crazy?
No, that might be something.
I don't know. It is a good...
I'm going to have to rewatch it. Not in that way.
Sure.
Guys. I'll rewatch it to see, though. I think I can see that similarity.
And this was, like you said, one of the first times that the most sensei's in one room together. Technically, I think this is the first time.
Yeah, I think so. Andrew Fedge on YouTube says, I don't think it was Kala. I think it was a woman who looked like her. Again, we're talking about that scene in that bathhouse.
Why would they do that? Oh, also, what is that bathhouse that people are just walking around? Is that a...
That's like a thing.
It is a thing?
Yeah. I remember he swam naked.
Yeah, I was also questioning what was happening.
Yeah, so I think that's just the thing.
Did you think Kala and him were going to hook up in the beginning of the episode when he was in her bed?
She looked pretty tempted. And
she's definitely tempted.
I would be interested to see that, because we haven't seen, not in that way again, but we haven't seen two people who are completely alone, but then they connect and then they have relations. We've seen people who are having relations with another person in person, and then the sensate will feel it.
We haven't seen the two sensate coitus together.
Sensaitis. Pamela Sledge says, I think the orgy was necessary because they were sharing all these other things, and everyone would have been thinking, what about when they got hot and heavy? I think that's true. Well, then I guess the same could be said for going to the bathroom, and we haven't seen that yet. Let's talk about Kala. So
I was really when the ending of the episode 5 was she passed out.
Yeah.
Were you I just want to know. I didn't get to ask you. Were you happy that the wedding didn't finish?
Yes, I was happy that she didn't get married. But what a way to go out!
You know what? What other way is there?
And I thought it was really funny at the top of this episode where Wolfgang's like, you saw it. And you looked.
You're looking now. He's like, and you're looking. She's like, no, I'm not. And then she kind of gives a glance too. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, oh, she wants it.
But then she had this really weird scene with her fiance where she meets him downstairs for breakfast or whatnot. And she's like, it sounds like, and I'm going to ask you what you think about this, but it sounds like she is trying to lead him down a path where he goes, you know what, I am pissed at you and we're not going to get married. Because she's like, no, I understand if you hate me. Let's just get this over with. Do you think she was actually upset or she wanted to make it stop?
She wanted to make it stop. She was like, this happened, I can use this. That would be the way I would go about something. I'm the type that would be very nervous. I would beat around the bush and I'm like, yeah, I get it. You saw this happen. Like, you don't want, I would understand. And he's not taking the bait. He's all like, but what a story. And she's like, no, yeah, it is a story. Yeah. Not the point. Passed out the wedding. We can't. They're still going with it.
which that has to come to a point where
we're gonna have a prediction about that. I have a prediction about. Well, it's a very simple prediction about that, and yeah. So they're not supposed to be together. I still want to see. We had that weird scene when she saw their pictures at her temple or whatever it was, and they're bad people. So is he bad? Is he not? What's happening? I'm not sure. I think I want to talk about the ending scene where we hear that they're the future. Basically, was like I think that was one of the last lines. Was that the last?
Yeah. That the woman who committed suicide said to Son.
That was the one. Okay, right. Yeah. That was Angel.
But it appeared as her mother at first,
and then it switched when we were getting a peripheral view.
Yeah.
No, side view.
Yeah. It was. That's weird. So is the woman dead?
I think she's dead, but I think she can still connect.
Like maybe she lives in the brain.
Oh yeah, maybe there's little pieces like left.
A couple of people are bringing up a good thing in the chat roll, which I'd like to mention because I noticed on a few of the cast's Twitters today that they did a casting chat, I believe earlier today at BuzzFeed. So we'll go ahead and tweet that out during the show, or after the show rather. This should be good. Should be good. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Andrew Fedge says, Kala's definitely not at all with this marriage. I feel bad for both of them.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about some predictions if you are.
Let's do it.
Let's want to get into some predicts here.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Oh, I thought that was an addition. I was like, a new sound in there.
Oh, man.
So the one first of all, I think Nomi is going to be taken again. Because I think we're going to have to see that side of what they want, what they're trying to do with her. Yeah. I know they're trying to give her lobotomy, we saw a little bit, but I think we're going to see more of the doctor and that. I think she'll be taken. I think that's why they're kind of still there, where she's still accessible, where it would be realistic if she was taken again.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's my prediction with her, and my biggest prediction with Kala is that her and Wolfgang gonna do some stuff.
Oh, they are going to hit it, as the kids say.
And I think the boyfriend or the husband, fiance, is once she makes it very clear that they're breaking up, I think then we're gonna see his dark side.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, because we haven't seen this dude's dark side, and he definitely has one.
He's always so happy-go-lucky.
Look at him.
Yeah.
The
beard.
Looks.
It's like, what are you hiding?
Yeah.
Definitely.
My prediction is that in the next episode, we see Jonas again, because we haven't seen him in a while, and I'd like to see him again.
Same.
Because I want to know about what's happening. Jonas, tell us what's going on.
He seems to be the wealth of knowledge, and I am excited to see him again. Maybe he'll connect. It seems like he likes to connect with Will at this point, so we'll see that.
Yeah, I also have a prediction really quick that Riley and Will are going to end up together. I just think that's going to happen.
You do?
Yeah.
You're going to be sad to see that, or how are you going to feel?
I'll be pretty happy, but it's going to be a bittersweet moment, Nicholas.
Understandably, I get it. Alexa says that her predictions are the connections are going to get stronger, and they have to actually meet. Oh, I'm waiting for them to actually meet and not just do sexy time, but have chat time. And she also says Sun will help Cap when he's in trouble. I agree. I thought that was going to happen when he was getting robbed, but it didn't. Nomi will be taken to Amanita's mom will get hurt or something. Oh, that will be sad.
Pamela Sledge says, is it wrong? I just want Kala and Wolfie to just have real sex,
not sensate sex. I agree, and it ain't wrong, and it's gonna happen.
It's not wrong. It's gonna go down. And I like that everybody's calling him Wolfie.
Are they?
It's a good nickname.
I didn't know they were.
A lot of people are.
Should we start referencing as Wolfie?
What's that?
I'm gonna start referencing Wolfie.
Yeah, Wolfie.
Cap, Wolfie. I mean, we do nickname a lot of people. So yeah. Okay, on that note, I want to thank you guys for joining us here. During the week, you can always tweet at each of us. Where can they tweet at you?
Oh, you guys can find me at The Only Camshaft, Twitter and Instagram, CameronLewis.com, where you can find my podcast. Use the hashtag ABTVSense8. Thank you for all the comments. What a good
I love this crew. This is one of my favorite crews, one of my favorite shows that I do. You guys can follow me at Nicholas Grava. Thanks for watching and tuning in and commenting tonight. We'll see you guys next week with the full panel. panel, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.